Assalamualaikum and good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Right.
Good afternoon, sir.
So welcome to FIN420 Financial Management. But let me share with you some material I want to share. Okay. As I mentioned, this is FIN420 Financial Management. The content of the course is basically to cover the uh, decision-making tools, like I can say. We will involve a lot of techniques, methods in making decisions that can help financial managers to make some correct decisions. Okay, whereby we have some analysis based on certain techniques or methods, and this can assist the managers to make some crucial money-related decisions lah. Okay, but before we go into details, the content of the course, right? So maybe perhaps I can share with you guys a little bit about myself. Okay, some introduction. Okay, my name's Muhammad Faizal. Again, not to be confused with your coordinator. Your coordinator, Cik Faizal Kamarudin kan. So for your program coordinator, so anything related dengan administrative issues, in terms of registration of courses, in terms of paying fees, anything lah yang berkenaan dengan administrative matters, you akan contact dengan Cik Faizal Kamarudin tu. Okay, but for myself, my name is Muhammad Faizal Basri. I'm just teaching FIN420 for you guys. Okay, a little bit about my background. I got my PhD in Islamic Finance from Darul University. And prior to that, my MBA, my degree, my diploma even, all from UiTM. Okay. And in terms of my professional qualifications, I got two registered financial planner and Sharia registered financial planner from Malaysian Financial Planning Council, MFPC. And from MFPC as well, I'm their certified MFPC trainer, CMT. So I'm teaching courses, giving trainings to their participants lah, basically. All right. I used to work with UiTM, okay, before, but now I'm attached with UPSI. And prior to that, I worked with M-Bank Berhad before, okay, way back when I started my career. And anyway, the bottom two there was bottom two are my contacts, okay, my mobile number and also my email addresses. So the mobile number, perhaps if you have anything you want to inform me, or perhaps you want to create a WhatsApp group later on, maybe you can add me in. All right, and my email addresses are at the bottom there. Okay, tapi kebanyakan communications, information, the official channel would be Future. So all the notes, all the materials, some of the assessments, all will be done in Future. So please regularly check your Future, especially berkenaan dengan assessments. Okay, because there will be some assessments will be done in Future. Your quiz ke, your assignments, some of the questions saya akan post kat dalam Future. Okay, and some even the quiz itself kita buat dalam Future as well. Okay, and don't forget to sign in your attendance, right? Again, kita gunakan Future jugalah to record all the attendance, right? So moving on from myself, let's talk about the content or the course itself, the financial management FIN420. So this course, the credit hour is 3. Okay, the MKF, Malaysian Qualification Framework credit is 3 credit hours. So to correspond the credit hours, starting this semester, the contact hours akan sync with the credit hours. So kalau sebelum ni, for this course especially, FIN420, so our meeting should be 7 meetings, 7 seminars, but every seminar just 2 hours kan, before. Okay, but starting this semester, they make a change whereby the meetings, regardless sama ada paper tu calculation based or non-calculation based, semua khusus akan berjumpa 7 times. Okay, 7 meetings, 7 seminars. Okay, but on top of the 2 hours meetings face to face, we're gonna have additional 1 hour. Okay, like today, online meetings 1 hour. So technically for every week, every meeting yang seminar yang kita ada lah minggu tu, it's gonna be total 3 credit hours ataupun 3 contact hours, 1 plus 2, 1 online and 2 face to face. But there's an exception for this week, whereby we receive information from ISAPS that for tomorrow's session, okay, we're still going to conduct it online. Okay, online. So 5th and 6th of April, okay, today and tomorrow memang kita buat online lah. So untuk Sabtu macam hari ni memang sepatutnya online. But for the Sunday session, supposedly it will be face to face, but only for tomorrow we're going to do it online. Okay, so I posted the link for tomorrow in the future as well as part of the calendar. Okay, bear with me kejap. I'm going to share with you the schedule, okay, for March to August 2025. So for the next berapa bulan tu? 1, 2, 3, 4 months macam tu, 4 months. We're gonna meet 1 hour online, okay, starting today, 5th of April. And you guys group NBF2M, okay, our slot is between 4 to 5, okay, between 4 to 5 online on Saturdays, right? And for Sundays here, it will be starting tomorrow. Okay, kalau ikut jadual asal, the state here, everything is physical, face to face, and our class will be at FSK 6 block, FSK 6 bangunan FSK 6 tu, level 4, bilik kuliah 11 ataupun room classroom number 11. Okay, but kindly note the difference in terms of the time. Okay, I'm just following the timetable shared by your coordinator. Okay, so untuk online, for the earlier group, I had their slot at 2 to 3. Okay, group N. Okay, but for you guys, we start at 4 to 5. Okay, I ikut jadual ni 4 to 5 for the online session. But for the physical class, okay, physical class, our session will start at 4:15. Okay, normally if I'm not mistaken, sebelum ni they start at 4:30. So 2 to 4, and then there's a gap, half an hour, then 4:30 to 6:30. But based on the schedule, we're going to start at 4:15 instead. So kindly note the changes, 4:15 to 6:15 on the physical classes. Okay, cuma untuk esok, as I mentioned tadi, we're going to have still online, 6 hari bulan sahaja. So kindly note that changes just on the 6th. So kita punya face to face we're going to start on the 20th of April. So 20 hari bulan ni kita akan ada face to face punya meeting lah. Okay, so that's some housekeeping related to your schedule, jadual kelas dan juga classroom. Okay, now let's move on to the content of the course. Okay, it starts with the description. Okay, so this course is designed to enable students to understand the concepts of finance. Okay, as I mentioned, this is FIN420. This is just the fundamental, the introduction concepts and paper for finance. And since you guys are Bachelor of Finance students, you're gonna have more finance papers in the future. So you have to have a good grasp on the content and also the concept of finance, especially from this FIN420. Sebab bila dah ada fundamental yang solid, then it's much easier for you to move on to intermediate or to the advanced level of finance later. Okay, so the topic covers quite a broad topic. Okay, so starting from topic number 1 is just introduction, the basic concept, the definition of finance, who are the participants, why the companies exist at the first place. And then there are some elements of risk and return. Okay, to just introduce you what is finance is all about. But starting from topic 2 onwards, dia akan start dengan all the elements that importance in finance, like understanding of financial statements, how to do the financial ratios, how to prepare the cash budgets, the pro forma statements, the concepts of working capital management, the concept of time value of money. Okay, so if the company faces shortage of funds, what are the sources of financing available? Okay, and finally, in the final topic 11, we're going to discuss the concept of capital budgeting. So quite lengthy, I can say, quite a lot of topics to be covered throughout the semester. So by having this additional 1 hour per seminar, okay, the additional 1 hour yang kita buat on Saturdays ni, hopefully there's more topics can be covered during the class. Okay, prior to this, kebanyakan ataupun there are some topics that I have to skip and I have to rely on the students to read and to study on their own. Okay, especially relating to the theory parts. Okay, theory part memang tak sempat nak cover before this. The 2-hour slots every meetings, kita ada 7 kali meeting kan sebelum ni. So the final meeting, seminar 7 tu memang kita akan allocate for the final test. Okay, similarly semester ni pun sama. Seminar 7 on Sunday tu, we're gonna have our final test. But the rest, the remainings, memang kita allocate focus on calculations. So by having this 1 hour additional, okay, minggu ni tak adalah sejam hari ni, memang just untuk introduction. But for the next 6 meetings that we're going to have on Saturdays, we can utilize that to do some exercises, to elaborate more on the calculation parts and may incorporate some of the theory aspects as well. Okay, itu kelebihan yang kita ada lah for this semester. Hopefully we can utilize that. Right, in terms of the learning outcomes, okay, so these are the expected learning outcomes that you're going to have and you're going to gain, okay, and you should be able to do it, okay, at the end of the course, not necessarily at the end, because of some of the learning outcomes we can test before the course end. Okay, so bila dah habis certain topics tu kita dah boleh test sebenarnya. So for example, number 1, course learning outcome number 1 is to explain current and future financial plans for corporations. And when you see this is PL1, this is program learning outcome 1. And program learning outcome 1 selalunya kita akan measure using test based. Okay, it's either test based ataupun final exam lah. Okay, so here we're going to test this based on your first test and also the final test. Okay, kita akan test this on this explanation on the current and future plans. Okay, macam-macam methods and techniques that we can go through lah, based on topics yang sesuai. And then for the second CLO is to do reports on corporations' financial position and performance. And PLO5 ni kalau tak salah mostly on articulations, on digital numeracy skills, and also kita boleh measure juga in terms of teamwork. So that's why untuk CLO number 2 ni, we gonna do a group project. Okay, a group project whereby we gonna ask you to prepare two forms of reports. Number one is a written report bertulis, okay, physical reports. And number two is presentation reports. Okay, maknanya you kena buat a video presentation. And it's basically coming from the same assessment. Satu task je you kena buat, tapi dia datang dalam dua bentuk reports lah, written and also presentation. And finally, for the third CLO, is to apply the knowledge of financial planning in order to manage shareholders' wealth. So this one, usually we're going to test using quiz ataupun assignment. Okay, individually. Okay, kalau number 2 ni tadi based on a group work. Number 3 is basically based on individual assignments ataupun individual quiz. Okay, so in terms of the respective topics, we're going to go through lepas kita tengok this content. So kita ada 11 topics altogether. Quite a lot to be covered, to be honest with you. However, based on the previous semesters, memang all of the topics will be covered somehow in the assessment. Okay, assessment ada macam-macam. Some can be covered in topic 1, some can be covered in test 1, some can be covered in the final test, some will be covered in group project and so on. Okay, so setiap satu assessment tu ataupun setiap satu topik ni will be assessments to measure. Okay, so let's go through one by one. So we have topic number 1, introduction to the financial statement, to the financial management. So this will give you the overview, what is finance is all about, as I mentioned, and who are the participants, who will be the source, where will be the sources and users of funds coming from and will go to. And as I mentioned, there will be some element of risk and return juga kat dalam tu to understand back why we need to have this financial management. Okay, so untuk topic number 1 ni just theory, there's no calculation. Then for topic number 2, we have understanding of financial statements. If you have sit for the accounting paper before this, untuk paper accounting, what you need to do is basically to prepare financial statements. Okay, you kena buat balance sheets, make sure the balance sheet to balance, and then you have the profit and loss, okay, and cash flows and others types of financial statement lah. Cuma untuk this course, the financial management, we are not preparing the financial statements. We are basically going to use the financial statements in order for us to analyze. So the financial statement will be our source of documents, okay, source of our information, in order for us to use it untuk buat analysis. Okay, so what kind of analysis? In topic 3, we're going to do financial ratios. We're going to do financial ratios. So this is the first analysis that we're going to go through, financial ratios. And these financial ratios is important because this is actually part of your group project. So your group project will be based on financial ratios. Remember tadi, the report is based on financial position and performance. So you're going to do that based on topic number 3. Okay, so by completing the topic 3, I can actually give you instructions for your group project already. So I foresee this to happen somewhere after second seminar. After second seminar, I dah boleh distribute instructions and also the rubric, how to do the group project and how the group project will be assessed. Okay. And then for topic number 4 is financial forecasting and planning. Okay, still you're going to rely on the financial statements. Cuma kalau untuk topic 3, the financial statements will be used to measure the past performance Okay, performance yang dah lepas. We take the annual reports, but annual report selalunya report yang telah berlaku. So here, for example, now in 2025, but we are still in early of the year. Sekarang baru masuk bulan April. So those companies yang financial end dia December, for example 2024, kebanyakannya tak ready lagi by now. So the latest annual reports that we can access is 2023 and backwards. So we're going to use that financial statements of companies, okay, 2023 backwards, and we're going to do financial ratios. Itu untuk topic 3 lah, past performance. But for topic number 4, this is something for the future. Kita akan forecast and we're going to plan for the next year. Okay, so still you're going to use financial statements, tapi selain daripada financial statements, when we do forecasting and planning, we're going to make some assumptions. We're going to do some assumptions, and that assumption will help us to do some planning and also forecasting. Okay, so 3 and 4 ni dia related somehow, but the format of reports are different. Okay, ratios mostly on analysis, on charts, and comparison. Tapi untuk forecasting and planning is more on internally, how the company can use the information from financial statements in order to plan their profits and plan for their cash movements. Okay, sebab selalunya bila cerita pasal financial forecasting and planning, we're going to manage, we're going to forecast what will be the profits of the company, and also especially when we talk about cash flows. Okay, sebab as a company, they need to know that they have enough cash in order for them to operate on daily basis. Okay, ada soalan ke? The setup of Webex, sorry, it's not Webex.
Kita akan belajar hedging ke dalam topik ni?
Sorry?
Kita akan belajar hedging ke?
Hedging tak ada. We're not talking about risk management or investment opportunities with regards to hedging. Itu mungkin you akan belajar masa derivatives, sebab when we talk about hedging, memang mostly we use derivative lah as part of the tool kan. So that's more on intermediate or advanced level of finance later. So untuk khusus ni, we're not going to go through hedging yet.
Terima kasih, Sir.
Alright. So after we use the financial statements, so we move on to topic 6, which is, topic 5, which is working capital management. Okay, so working capital, So working capital ni, when you see the word working capital, you always associate this working capital with current assets. Okay, if you've learned about financial statements before in the balance sheet, you know dalam balance sheet ada assets and then ada liabilities and equity. So under the assets punya sections, we have current dengan fixed kan, ataupun the non-current one. So when we talk about working capital, it's always associated dengan current assets. Okay, and here the following topics, ada topic 6 and 7, you're going to see 4 different current assets. We have cash, we have marketable securities, we have account receivable, and we also have inventory management. So technically these 5, 6 and 7, they are somehow related. Okay, so topic 5 will be the introduction for working capital management. But in terms of the details, how we manage the respective working capital is based on the respective topic 6 and 7. Okay. Similar like topic number 1 yang tak ada calculations, topic number 5 as introduction for working capital pun there's no calculation lah, just theory. So the calculation only on topic 6 and 7 for this 5, 6, 7 untuk working capital management. Okay. And then once we finish the working capital management, we go to the borrowings ataupun the financing options. So this is another two topics that we can group together. Okay, talking about financings ataupun borrowings. So we manage our current assets, but sometimes we have problems with regards to cash. Contohnya, we don't have enough cash, we are not liquid enough. So what can we do? All right. So the options would be we have to borrow money. Okay. So what kind of options available? We can borrow money short-term basis or long-term basis. Right. And here, topic 8 and 9, you're gonna explore the options that we have, the alternatives, and the most importantly, bila dah tahu alternative tu, is in terms of to choose which options would be the best for the company. So we're gonna explore the calculations of the cost. Okay, both bila cerita pasal pinjaman, financing, it's all about the cost. Kalau kita cerita pasal investment, obviously we're gonna talk about returns. Okay, kita nak invest, kita nak try to dapat the maximized return. But when we talk about borrowings, financing, we're gonna try to borrow at the lowest cost. So therefore, the similarity ataupun the points that we can compare between the option would be the cost. So both short-term financing and long-term financing, you're going to learn how to measure and how to calculate the cost for the respective financing. Okay, and topic number 10 is about mathematics of finance. Here we're going to learn the concept of call them time value of money. Okay, the concept of present value versus future value. Okay, so this one towards the end of the topic, so I can see this happen somewhere seminar 5 or 6 lah. Okay, and finally we're going to conclude the cost with the capital budgeting. So capital budgeting ni mostly related with investment. Okay, but specifically the investment that we're going to do is either to purchase new asset. Okay, new asset ni can be in the form of to invest in new machines, for example, or to invest ataupun to venture into new projects. Okay, so the similarities between new asset dengan new project ni, the assumption would be these new assets or new projects will generate income. Okay, so maknanya kita kena keluarkan duit as a company to make investment. And this investment specifically only on when we talk about capital budgeting, something that we have to spend. Okay? But the things that we spend on though mesti generate returns, income, inflows. Okay, so example, purchase new machines. Okay, and that machine akan generate return to the company, boleh generate products and whatnot lah. Okay, so before we make sure kita invest in a huge amount of money, kita kena ensure that the inflows that are going to come from that investment will generate enough return to cover the cost. Okay, so that capital budgeting will help us to decide sama ada the new investment on assets or on the new project will give us enough returns or not. Okay, kalau bila kita calculate tengok, oh, it's not sufficient, so therefore we're gonna reject the project ataupun reject in purchasing new asset. Okay, so that will be discussed in details later on topic 11. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Okay, I've shared with you the schedule just now, but I want to highlight on the syllabus. Okay, so the syllabus here I already shared with you dalam future juga. You can browse through the I discuss, and there's one section at the bottom, ditulis situ course information or syllabus. Okay, I've uploaded this document. Okay, this will be very useful for you to explore nanti kita punya content of the financial management ni. Okay, the description, the CLOs already discussed. I dah share dengan you tadi kan. Okay, but the content here as you can see is more detailed. Okay, kalau dalam my slide just now, I just pick the main topic. Okay, the intro, the understanding financial statement, financial ratios and so on. Just the main topic. Tapi dari segi detailnya, okay, the content, you can browse through here lah. Okay, akan nampak lagi detail kat dalam ni. So that's why I said it's quite lengthy juga sebenarnya to cover everything. But obviously we're gonna pick and choose whichever yang important to be discussed during our face-to-face punya lesson. Right. Moving on after the content is the assessment. Okay, this is very crucial in order for you to prepare yourself and then to how to set your target lah for this course. Okay, so for this course there's no final exam. Okay, khusus ni tak ada final exam. Okay, but we're gonna have 2 tests. So the first test will be done somewhere after seminar 3. Okay, and it will give about 20%. Okay, and then the second test ataupun the final test will be done during seminar 7. So this one seminar 7. Okay, seminar 7 tak boleh tulis kat sini. Dia boleh draw line saja. Okay, but anyway, so for the final test, this will be done in seminar 7 Sunday. Tak ingat berapa date dia tadi. And this will give you another 30%. So combined marks ataupun combined weights for test is half of the 100%. So 50% ni datang daripada test sahaja. Okay, so it's a big chunk of your assessment datang daripada test. Test 1, 20%. The final test, 30%. And then for the group project, it's going to be another 30%. Okay, cuma like I said, pecahan dia 20% on the written report and 10% comes from the presentation. Okay, so that's 30% lagi. So dah 80%. Okay, so the final 20% comes from the individual works. Okay, I letak situ assignment/quiz lah. Okay, so 20%. So untuk assignment, nama pun assignments kat situ dia tulis. So expect more than one assignment lah. Usually it's not a lot for individual assignment. Selalunya paling banyak I buat 2 sahaja. Okay, one tu maybe multiple choice quiz, and the other one would be take home assignment. Okay, I post the question on YouFuture, then you submit on the YouFuture juga based on the deadline. Okay, so that one can be done anywhere, okay, not necessarily in class. Okay, both quiz dengan assignment. So these two mostly will be done online. Okay, and then these are the recommended texts that you can use. Okay, let me go back to the slide tadi. Coming back to the assessment, I want to map now how the assessments correspond dengan the topics that we have. Okay, kita ada 11 topics. So obviously bukan semua topics akan ada dekat final, contohnya. Alright, so how I distribute ataupun most of lecturer akan ada lebih kurang sama lah distribution dia. So untuk the earlier topics, okay, I letak sini asterisk tadi, number 3, financial ratios. Why I put it here, the star here ataupun asterisk at topic 3, because this is your group project. So your group project memang based on topic 3 only. Okay, for your group project. Okay, purely coming from topic 3 alone. Okay, but again, if you remember, in order to understand topic 3, how to do financial ratios, you can understand topic number 2 lah. Tapi the actual analysis, the actual works is based on topic 3. So therefore, I'm going to put here for topic 3 lah. So what about the earlier topics, topic 1, topic 2? Okay, that will be tested in the first test. So topic 1, test 1 ni, dia boleh keluar from topic 1, can be from topic 2, and primarily akan datang from topic 4. Okay, for test 1, so dia boleh cover kat sini, 1 and 2, 3 ni dah group project, and predominantly sebenarnya soalan banyak datang daripada topic number 4, financial forecasting and planning. So you have to focus more on topic 4 lah semasa test 1. Okay, because 1 and 2 there's not much calculation, but topic 4, yes, we have purely calculation topic. Akan ada 2 documents or 2 reports, the output from financial forecasting and planning. So both will be in test 1. So it will give you 20% kat sini. So dia tadi 30%. So 1, 2, 3, 4 dah cover in topic 1, in test 1 and also the group projects. So how about the rest? Ada 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sampai 11 kan. So we have 3, 5, 7 more topics to go. Right? So untuk topic 5 until topic number 7, this can be tested in assignments and quizzes. So topic 5 to topic 7 can be question in the assignment/quiz. Remember tadi I cakap typically they're gonna be 2 types of assignment/quiz tu. Okay, so kita boleh pecah lah 5, 6, 7 tu into 2 different assessments, and each assessment will give you 10%, so combine 20%. Combine 20%. Right, and finally for the final test, it will be the remaining. Okay, the remaining topics. Okay, selalunya dulu I'm gonna use 8 to 11 as a final test. Okay, 8 to 11. Okay, tetapi last semester, we first time buat final test in groups, meaning every groups in every program yang ambil FIN420 gonna have same or similar questions, a standardized question. Okay, and last semester they choose topic 7 to 11. Okay, so shouldn't be more than this lah. So this is the max they can ask you, 7 to 11. So starting from here till here for your test 2. Okay, so the earlier topics will not be in topic 2, in the test 2. Test 2 tu akan cover sampai sini je, from 7 to 11 sahaja. Okay, but bear in mind the weight is quite huge. Dia ada 70 markah. Okay, 70 worth of marks for you to answer in order to get 30%. Okay, in order for you to get the 30%. Okay, so that's the distribution of topics based on the assessment. So your target to get at least 50%. Okay, so this is a passing mark as usual. 50% ni apa? C kan, minimum. So is it easy to get 50%? The short answer will be yes. Okay, the short answer will be yes in order to get C, at least. It's quite easy to get. But with conditions, number 1, semua assessment ni kena hantar. Okay, tak ada missing assessments. Okay, ada 2 assignment and quiz, hantar dua-dua. The group project, the videos, and also the written report hantar. Test 1, you set for the test. Similarly, the final test, bila kita buat pun, you buat. Then you submit. Okay, bila you submit everything, it's not confirmed yet, tapi 98% lah. 98%, you're going to pass. Dengan syarat you complete every single assessments. And the submission tu bukan just purely on submission lah. It must be done accordingly and must be done according to the standard. Right? So if you do that, most likely you're gonna pass. And some boleh dapat higher grades lagi. No issues. Okay, every semester ramai je yang dapat A. Right? But at the same time ada juga yang fail. So why fail? The reasons selalunya, even though they submitted semua, but it's poorly written ataupun poorly done. Okay, the result of test 1 very poor. Bila hantar assignment atau quiz, bila ada soalan tu ada 3, dia jawab 2 je contohnya. Sama jugalah dengan test or final test. Out of 70 marks ni, dia hanya jawab 2 soalan je contohnya. So how to get the maximum marks kat sini kan? Or most of the time, if you fail to submit any one of these, memang chances untuk fail tu lagi tinggi lah. Okay. Tak buat quiz contohnya, ataupun tak buat dua-dua, both assignment and quiz. Okay, you miss the 20% ni. So you hilang 20% ni, automatically you jeopardize the other section of the marks dekat sini. Memang nampak ada lagi 80% kat sini, but will you get 80% here to cover to get to 50%? Sometimes the group project can help. Okay, selalunya group project ni agak tinggi lah markah dia. If you do according to the rubric, then you get higher grades lah. Tapi kalau you buat sambil lewa, mungkin tak dapat lah markah yang tinggi. Okay, but test 1 and final test memang purely on your understanding how to answer, following the format. You know how to calculate, you know how to do the steps and so on. Okay. So yeah, kebanyakan yang fails disebabkan tak hantar salah satu ataupun more than one assessment. Automatically memang fail lah. And usually, even after I give second chance, third chance, final call untuk submission, but still tak ada submission, I cannot do much lah. Okay, so if you face any difficulties in terms of time, in terms of any issues, you just need to let me know. And if you have still time, ample time, sebab remember kita ni tak ada final exam, but we still have deadline. Okay, there are some deadline that we need to meet, especially when we talk about uploading your marks. Okay, so kalau lah sampai the end of the day for me to submit, kalau still tak ada contohnya any of the submission, so I cannot do anything. So the keyword here would be communication. Okay, just communicate, and then we can discuss lah and find solution how to ensure that every assessment ni available for me to assess and for me to grade. Okay, or else memang must by the time of the deadline. Kalau tak ada, then I cannot simply letak numbers kat situ kan. So it's not fair to everybody. So yeah, so the key is please communicate. And I'm gonna give multiple chances, tapi kalau still tak ada, I cannot do anything more lah. Okay, so that's assessment, and this is the recommended. Okay, recommended text ni, to be honest, saya tak guna in class. So most of the lessons will be based on the slides that I shared. So far, I dah share sampai topic 4. If you look dalam the group content, I've uploaded at least 4 topics for now. So I'm going to upload more later. And then, apa lagi ya? As a material, okay, we're going to use a lot of past year's question. Walaupun paper ni bukan ada final exam anymore, but we still use final exam yang ada dalam archive as part of our reference and material to do our exercises. And then I have the chance to record macam hari ni dengan esok, insyaAllah akan ada records lah, and I'm going to share with you the link. Okay, but that's it. But the rest of the seminar later on, we're gonna meet face to face. So bila kita buat face to face, memang tak record anything. But there's one occasion last time during COVID-19, whereby the classes was purely online masa tu. And during the online classes, I have the opportunity to record every sessions. Okay, kita ada 7 kali seminars. I have complete seven recordings for the relevant topics yang melibatkan calculations. So that also will be shared for you to review and for you to revise for your own study later on. Okay, I will not share with you now, tapi insyaAllah in the future I will share with you so that you can use after class, you boleh revise, and for those yang tak boleh datang katakan, you have the opportunity untuk review lah and learn how to do it. Sebab dalam slides, even though I give you all the slides for all 11 topics, there are some steps when we do the calculations. Sometimes it can be simplified, okay, and will be explained in details bila kita buat dalam kelas. Tapi kalau you tak datang and rely just on slides, sometimes you mungkin akan lost lah. So therefore, hopefully the videos can help you juga lah kat situ. So that's the references that we're going to use predominantly in the class, and also for your own self-study lah. Okay, so lama juga cakap ni, close to 50 minutes. So maybe kita take very short break, 2 minutes break je. Okay, and then the final 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna explore topic number 1. Okay, for the final 10 minutes ni, nampaknya tak banyak masa lah for me to explore and explain our first topic. Okay, first topic ni sebenarnya just theory, and historically memang selalunya I skip and expect the students to read on their own lah. Okay, tapi since we have time, 10 minutes ni, mungkin I'm gonna highlight a few things, especially 1.1, financial markets and business organization. And the rest too, perhaps if we have time tomorrow before we start on topic 2, kita akan go through a bit lah, 1.2 sampai 1.4. Okay, but for the next 8 minutes ni, I'm just going to highlight on the definition of finance, what is finance is all about, and how the interaction between the units in the economic and how the relationship happen between the parties, and how the businesses manage their funds. Okay, so finance can be defined as the art and science of managing money. So this is the first keyword, managing money. And when we talk about money, it's not only money that they have, but sometimes the money that they don't have yet also important in how to manage them. So in economy, okay, or in finance, okay, so you always have to remember this concept, the concept of the surplus unit, okay, concept of the surplus unit and the concept of the deficit unit. Okay, so in economy, there's always these two sides of the coin. Okay, ada satu pihak yang akan ada surplus, akan ada excess of funds, and there's another part of people ataupun community that gonna have a deficit. Okay, and when we talk about finance, this is where we try to manage in both positions. So maknanya when the company is in the surplus position, they know what to do with the money, and at the same time, if the company is in deficit position, they know how to get out of those deficit position. So surplus ni selalunya kita akan associatekan dia dengan they have excess of funds, they have positive cash flows, and what they do with the cash positive cash flows, they're gonna invest. Okay, they're gonna invest their surplus, and their investment usually with one intention, to get more returns, to get more funds. They have 100,000, so how to get this 100,000 to double or triple? Contohnya lah. So that's one definition of how to manage money when they are in the surplus position, to get more returns. Okay, but managing money is not only about when they have the money, as I mentioned, but when they are not having enough money, when they are in deficit, whereby they have less money, their income is less than their expenditures, they are in deficit, they don't have enough funds, so they need to know as well how to recover from this position. Okay, so kalau di surplus, they need to know where to invest, but when they are in deficit, in minus, so they need to have this knowledge and ability to borrow. Okay, dia kena tahulah how to borrow and how to borrow effectively and efficiently. So that's why in the second point here, finance is to obtain and allocate financial resources effectively and efficiently. So again, another two keyword kat sini, obtain and allocation, allocate. So these two can be associated with these two terms as well. So when they have surplus, they can allocate kat sini. They're going to allocate the funds in the right investment platforms. Okay, and if they are in deficit positions, they must know where to obtain. Okay, and when we talk about investment, the main thing that we put as an objective bila kita buat investment is to get the highest possible returns. Okay, so when you're in the surplus position, you want to invest, and you want to invest with the anticipation to get the highest possible return. Okay, but again, when we talk about investment, kena ingatlah mesti akan ada element of risk. Okay, so that's one part. For the deficit units, to obtain the resources, they try to borrow, okay, ataupun to do financing with the intention to get the best possible rates ataupun the lowest possible options in terms of the borrowing rates. Okay, so dia contrast lah. Kalau invest kita nak rate yang paling tinggi, but when we want to borrow, we want to get the cheapest and the lowest rates. So that is how finance will help you to allocate and obtain resources effectively and efficiently to get the highest return, but at the same time to borrow at the cheapest cost. Okay, so that's in general what is finance is all about. But how these two units, the surplus and deficit, is going to meet with one and another. Macam mana ni nak berjumpa antara dua ni? So you bayangkan you as a company, you ada surplus, you ada a lot of money. So kat mana kita nak park our money? Okay, so we need vehicles, we need intermediaries. So therefore, in the middle between the two ni, kita akan ada orang tengah, the middleman. Okay, the middleman lah, in between the surplus and the deficit units. And who will be in the middle? We're going to have number one, FI, financial institutions. So who are financial institutions? The banks. Okay, banks akan ada kat tengah-tengah ni. And another one would be financial market, FM, financial market. So we're going to have FI, financial institutions, and we have financial markets in the middle. So what they do, they will become the bridge between the surplus and the deficit. So a simple example, those yang ada surplus will go to the bank, go to FI and deposit. Dia deposit kat situ. Okay, deposit kat mana? Deposit in FD accounts, fixed deposit. Okay, so bank akan terimalah deposit from the surplus unit, company A. Okay, so what they do, bank do with the money, they will channel the money and give the money to those who wants to borrow. Okay, so they channelkan the fund from the surplus unit to the deficit who wants to borrow the money. So katakanlah kat deficit ni ada seorang Mr. A. Tadi company A ni Mr. A. So Mr. A wants to borrow money to buy a car. So they gonna go to the same financial institution, the bank, and they're gonna borrow from the same bank with the expectation untuk beli kereta. At the same time, they akan repay the loan, and plus they're gonna pay some profit to the bank, and bank akan share the profit with the surplus unit tadi. So basically, that's how the creation of economic value and how the allocation of funds berlaku between the surplus and the deficit. So finance is concerned with the process I already mentioned, and these are the two parties involved as intermediaries, the institutions and also the markets. And when we talk about the instruments, these are all the products that we have. So instrument dia boleh jadi dalam bentuk deposits, dia boleh bentuk pinjaman, debts, dia boleh dalam bentuk equity. So a lot of instruments can be used in order to transfer of money from one party to another, daripada surplus kepada deficit. And usually in economy, the types of participant tu kita boleh pecahkan kepada tiga: the individuals, the businesses, and also the governments. Okay, so kalau dalam ekonomi you belajar, dia ada household, firms, and the government lah. Okay, samalah, individuals, businesses, and government. And their roles can interchange between surplus and deficit from one time to another. So, contohnya household boleh become the surplus unit, kita deposit duit dalam bank, and at the same time kita boleh jadi deficit unit by borrowing money from the bank to beli rumah contohnya. Same goes with the company. Company ada extra funds, boleh go to financial market, okay, untuk invest in the government securities contohnya. Okay, but at the same time, company also can be a deficit unit and needs funding from the bank in order to do their to expand their business and borrow money for their working capital. So the three units ni, 1, 2, 3, the role can interchange between surplus and deficit from one time to another lah. Okay, so here you can see lah, the details of financial institutions as an intermediary, orang tengah that channels the funds from the depositors to the loans. So the depositors ni adalah the surplus and the loans ni adalah for the deficit unit. Okay, and for the financial markets, it consists of two financial markets. We have the money market and capital market. So this is where if the financial institutions cannot support the value of transactions, so selalunya firms and governments may resort to financial market in order to raise more funds. Okay, cuma dalam financial market dia ada money market, and money market ni selalunya melibatkan transaction in short term, okay, less than or equals to 1 year. Okay, jangka pendek sahaja. So yang akan mature within this 1 year, 12 months and below. And if they want to raise funds more than 1 year, so they're going to use capital market by issuing bonds or even stocks in the share market. Okay, company-company yang issue stocks dekat Bursa Malaysia tu, dia menggunakan capital market lah. And the maturity usually more than 1 year or sometimes no maturity. Okay, so investment ataupun stocks that they trade in the stock market in Bursa Malaysia usually don't have maturity. Okay, selagi company to exist, you can purchase their stocks and you can keep the stocks for your investment. Okay, so basically that's how the relationship between the financial markets and also the financial institutions together with the business. Okay, and business here, as you can see, is part of the 3 units that are actively involved in the economic activities. Okay, so ingat untuk FIN420, kebanyakan decision is based on this. We are in this shoe of the firms. Okay, not from the government, not from individuals. So we're going to focus on how the firms react and behave towards the surplus and deficit positions, and how they want to utilize and capitalize on the position bila dia surplus, how to make investment, how to get a very good returns, and at the same time kalau dia ada problems with cash flows in the deficit position, so how they want to get out and how to solve the problem that they have in terms of lack of cash contohnya. Alright, so I think itu je I sempat share for today. A bit about what is finance is all about, and also how the companies can, communicate with each other and use the financial institutions and financial markets in order to get the most effective and efficient activities lah. So for tomorrow, we're going to continue a bit from topic 1, tapi kita akan focus more on topic 2, and perhaps kalau ada masa, topic 3 as well kalau sempat lah. Okay, so don't forget to sign in. What is other example of security? Short-term debts. Untuk short-term mostly happens in the money market. So dalam money market ni kebanyakannya we have government securities kat dalam tu. We have Malaysian government securities, we have treasury bills, we have bank negara bills. So kita ada repos kat dalam tu. So a lot of instruments lah available, and this instrument usually will mature within 1 year. Okay, and we also have corporates punya issuance juga. Okay, bankers acceptance lah, kita ada promissory notes lah. So all of those adalah short term from corporates, pun boleh digunakan untuk short term investment juga. Okay, so I think that's about it. We're going to continue tomorrow. Thank you very much. And yeah, ada nak tanya?
No, sir, by mistake.
Okay. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. And thank you very much. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.